Hello everyone. Today I want to introduce a new application called p2p remote video. This application is able to build up a remote communication session between two email addresses. The two email addresses can be either Google Gmail or any email address support IMAP and SMTP protocols. So let's first get this application from Google Play Store. So after we go to Google Play Store, let's download this app first. Let's search p2p remote video. Because I have already installed p2p remote video before, so I can find this from the history list. So p2p remote video is developed by CYZ Soft. We can easily find it. So let's select it. And then let's install. The size of p2p remote video is about 15 megabytes, so it takes a while to download. Okay, now p2p remote video has been installed successfully and it's ready to use. Now let's open it. So first of all, we are asked to assign the permission to record video to this p2p remote video application. Of course, we need to allow it. And then p2p remote video asks permission to take pictures and record video. Allow it again. Now we go to the third step. We need to set up a local email account. We basically have two choices. The first choice is to use Gmail account. This is straightforward. You need not to configure anything. You just select the Gmail account which has been saved in this Android device. Alternatively, we can use a general email account which supports SMTP and IMAP protocols. This is not recommended because the user needs to know the port and the server address, and not all the email addresses can be used. So let's select the Gmail account. Okay, we have a number of Gmail accounts. So we can select one of them. We can also add an additional Gmail account, but here we just select the existing one. And then we tap OK. Okay, now p2p remote video navigates to a new window. And we can see it is asking for 3 Gmail authentication permissions. The first one is to view your email messages and settings. The second one is to send email on your behalf. And the last one is to view and modify but do not delete your email. So clearly, the first 2 permissions are required because you need to exchange emails with the remote peer to build up an email signal channel. The third permission, view and modify but do not delete your email, is also needed because each time when you build up a signal channel with the remote, you need to exchange 6 emails with the remote. The emails are no longer useful after the signal channel is set up. So if you do not assign this permission to this app, you need to log into Gmail web service and delete these used emails manually. However, if p2p remote video can get this permission, it can trash these emails for you, so it will save big amount of time. So now let's assign these permissions to p2p remote video. If user still has any concern regarding the privacy, user can feel free to send emails to Google consulting the Gmail authentication permissions. The client ID of p2p remote video is this one. So user can send emails to Google asking for any further information. And the developer promised that the P2P remote video will not infringe any privacy of the user. So don't worry about it. Okay, now let's assign the permission to P2P remote video. And now P2P remote video is going to test it. Let's select OK. It takes a while. Okay, now the connection test has successfully finished. We are able to use the P2P remote video to send and receive messages and start to communicate with a remote peer. So basically, we can now click Save Settings. And we go to a new dialog box asking us to input the destination email addresses. We can input as much as 3 remote email addresses. However, if you do not input any valid email address, a P2P remote video will ask you if you want to connect to itself. And if you select yes, then P2P remote video will start to connect to itself. And this is very useful when we debug the connection. Before we start to test the P2P remote video, let's first go through the settings of this app. So we tap Settings, and we can see there are 3 entries. The first one is Local Email Settings. User can select this entry to change the local email address. If we tap it, we can see the dialog box is populated. It's exactly the same dialog box we have seen before. So on the dialog box, we can see the local email address which has been selected. Of course, the user can select different email address. So let's tap OK. The second one is the background service settings. It's very important that users select the second entry, allow background signal service to start activity when a connection request is coming. Otherwise, the P2P remote video cannot be connected from remote. And the other 2 settings are related to some special devices. For example, Oppo. So user may need to enable it if this P2P remote video will be used as a server. And the last one is for log message and the camera. So user can enable or disable some type of log message output and can select which camera is used to capture video. Okay, now let's start a real test. We now have 2 Android devices running. So both of them has a P2P remote video installed. So the left one will be used as a client and the right one will be used as a server. So first of all, we need to make sure that the settings in server has enabled the option to start the activity when a connection request coming. So let's go to the settings and we can see the option has been enabled. And then we tap in the destination address in the client side. So we have already known that the server side local address is mfp-test002@gmail.com. So we select it and we tap OK. So now we can see a connection activity is populated. There are 3 buttons on the left top side of the screen. The leftmost button is a Give button. User can tap it and select new connections to connect to and old connections to exit. Here because we have already started the connection to mfp-test002@gmail.com, so it's there. So let's cancel. And the second one is the message activity window. User can send and receive message in this window. Of course, user needs to select destination address before send any message to the remote. user can simply tap the text view on the right bottom side of the screen and then select the address. And the third button is the log message button, log message window button. If users tap the button, user can see the messages coming out. So the color of the log message is determined by the message type. If it's a sign or green, basically it means the process is going well. But if it's red, then it means there are some errors. So here everything is cyan and green, so everything is going well. We can see the connection is setting up. That takes a while. Okay, now the connection has been built up, and when we are talking, we can hear some echoes. So if we want to go back to the main window, we just tap the small in-frame window, and then we can go back. See, the two Android devices are now exchanging video streams between each other. And now, if we tap the kill button, we can see the connection to the remote has been set up. If we want to break it, we just unselect the keep connection option and then tap OK. But before that, let's exchange some messages. So if we type message, hello, and we need to tap send button. We cannot simply type enter, because enter means start a new line. And here we just tap go. And we cannot send message to anybody before we select the destination address. Okay, let's send. Okay, you see the messages are sent and everything is going well. Now let's break the connection. Okay, now the connection has been broken. So let's go back. So now p2p remote video, user can see it's a really powerful tool. And if user has any questions, please don't hesitate to send email to the developer. The email address of the developer is cvzsoft@gmail.com. And the user can also get online help by tap the help button. Thank you.